I'm going to guess the one viewer who's already on is Dayron Johnson. Dayron at Snowco_scanner. If that's you, thank you very much. I'm just getting a tweet out just now to let people know I've got the feed set up. There's also a possibility that what you're seeing might be in better quality. I'm trying to use the available free Wi-Fi signal here. Please stand by. Hi everybody, this is Mark Horner, Beyond90seconds.com, streaming to you live from Darrington, Washington, regarding the terrible mudslide in Oso along State Route 530. The roadblock from this side of that incident is just down the road here on 530 in the Darrington area. I've just literally arrived, so I'm not going to come at you with a lot of new breaking information because I simply don't have it. One thing I would like to share with you, though, is one thing I've already been getting in terms of the sense of what's being felt here in Darrington, even before I arrived, just based on some phone calls that I made, is that there is a sense that the numbers we're hearing, 18 missing, 4 dead, that these aren't hard numbers in terms of what's ultimately perhaps destined to be the scope of this tragedy. And that's hard to say because there's still hope very much in the air. But I've heard that there are a number of people beyond 18 that remain unaccounted for. That's unofficial, though. So we'll have to see how this comes out over the next hours and days and ultimately weeks ahead. But that's one thing I'm definitely picking up on, that there might even be some frustration here that the numbers aren't being recognized a bit higher than what we're already hearing. We'll leave that where it's at for right now. I've just arrived here in Darrington. I'm going to get behind the camera right now and just show you a little bit about the lay of the land here, as well as what's going on right across the street. All right? Thanks for watching. So here we are in Darrington, and just across the street we have what appears to be the Incident Command Center. Now, keep in mind, I've just arrived. I've not checked in with anybody, but indeed, right alongside that white vehicle with the tall mast, the words Incident Command, Snohomish County. I see Oso Fire District 25, Darrington Fire District 24. There are just a number of agencies represented here right now. I see Fire District 21 represented just over here with this vehicle, with what appears to be a hovercraft. Yes, a hovercraft on the back trailer. And I know that we're getting a lot of light on that. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to move so we get some better light for you to see this. Here you have the hovercraft, and you have the Incident Command Post. Darrington Fire, District 24. We've been hearing a lot in the media from Snohomish County Fire Chief Travis Hotz. He is the chief of Districts 21 and 22. A gentleman who I recently had the pleasure of meeting prior to this tragedy on a fire out in the Granite Falls area, and gave me an in-depth interview, and not only about that incident, but about firefighting in general. And just an extremely well-spoken chief who really seems to have a firm command of his position. I'm going to move once more because I want to show you some of the nearby mountainside and give you a perspective of that, because the weather is very clear and rather nice at the moment, and you can see these snow-capped mountains. I realize we have the setting sun just off to the right there. It's going to blow out some of the shot, but that's all snow-capped mountain right there. And that's just, that's one of the things, as we pan and show you one of the Seattle news crews that's up here. It's one of the things about Darrington. It's just downright beautiful. My parents used to bring me here when I was a kid, and I don't come up here often these days, but it's at least a few times a year, usually on the way to Rockport, to photograph bald eagles. And so you see this picturesque setting here with a horrible story just down the road. I had some people contacting me to let me know that there was a community meeting here in Darrington this evening at 6 o'clock. I haven't heard that officially, but I think my sources are pretty good, so I assume that's true, but I don't know that for a fact. But obviously, this area is highly impacted without having the the highway available to go from here. Doing all right. Thank you very much. Oh, no, you're fine. Yeah. Yeah. Excuse me, hearing from a local Seattle reporter. But this area, Darrington, is just obviously impacted, not by the immediate loss of life down the road and the concern about so many other lives, but from a logistics standpoint, this route out of here, now to leave this area, if you want to get to I-5, you got to go back through Rockport and Concrete and come out just north of Mount Vernon there, Cook Road. So it adds a significant number of miles to a trip to Arlington, for example. Sorry about the camera jiggle there, folks. I'm going to check my other phone because that allows me to access Twitter and see if you are firing off any questions or anything along that nature, as you sometimes do, and I try to respond. And because I have such little information quite up front to give you, I thought perhaps I would just show you this live shot, show you this incident command post, share a little bit of background, and then keep this live stream rather short. But let me just check in to see what I'm hearing on Twitter. A lot of you are retweeting the fact that I have a feed up. I appreciate that. Snowco_scanner. Jason Marcellus and two others have retweeted. It says here, Generation JP2, thank you very much for sharing the link. It's much appreciated. So, unlike so many of our other days, I mean, if there is one, well, there's been more than one piece of good news. Obviously, we've had some survivors, and that is fantastic. We have some people who just just missed going into that debris as it crossed the road. Some drivers. We spoke to one of those yesterday, a gentleman who gave a very dramatic account. So there are some bright spots, but an additional bright spot is certainly, at this moment anyway, the weather. If we had had those days of what seemed like constant rain and sometimes downpours that we've had for seemingly weeks on end recently, this, it would seem to me, would be even more difficult to deal with for first responders to deal with and so forth, and the ground would perhaps be looser and the river would be higher, so at least we have these clear skies, and the temperatures aren't really warm, they're staying rather low, so that translates to not as much snow melt in the area right now, so that would all seem to be working in the favor of the crews responding to the mudslide and the concerns related to it. So once again, I'm just going to do a slow pan, show you the incident command post here in Darrington. Reporter about to go live once again. Watched him go live shortly after I showed up. Snohomish County Fire District 21. Vehicle with a trailer with a hovercraft on it. And the sun will soon set on Darrington. And we'll go ahead and blast out this lens a little bit. But the sun's setting, just about to go down beyond that ridge, behind that ridge. Where I'm at, I'm getting some Wi-Fi, so hopefully that's translating to a better signal, a better picture than you're used to seeing if you've been watching any of my recent streams. I'm going to check Twitter once again here. That's it. Okay, so to recap, this is Mark Horner at the Incident Command Post in Darrington, Washington, related to the Oso mudslide. One other thing I'll pass along, I'm told that just down the road, the location of the roadblock that I heard from one local resident, I haven't confirmed this, that they've actually moved the roadblock, and I'm assuming that means even further away from the incident, but they may have just moved it once again. I'm going to be here for a bit of time here this evening, and we'll look around, stay out of trouble, of course, and hopefully find a good piece of information or at least some additional video that I might be able to share and photographs with you on beyond90seconds.com a bit later. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate you tuning in to watch this live stream. I'll just keep you here for a moment and just block it down here as the reporter's about to go live across the street. He's pretty loud. Listen to his last one, so we might pick up some information from the report. I want to give a shout out to Dayron Johnson at Snowco_scanner. Dayron, I'm going to try and reach you on Voxer while I let the stream continue. I'm going to step away from the camera. So if you are listening, perhaps you'll be ready to, hopefully you're in the area to receive this message.
Injured and trapped in the mud. One man we talked to joined other volunteers and helped pull 2 children and 2 adults from the muck. He then had to be plucked out of there by helicopter. Residents of this entire neighborhood, well, they're hurting pretty badly for those who are suffering most. You're hearing a lot of that, a mix of compassion and relief that their families are all right. Now, troopers had set up roadblocks throughout the day, only allowing residents to go closer to the slide area to check on their homes that had been all right. They're allowing people to come in and out right now, but there are still warnings about potential flooding. So we'll continue to talk to residents and find out how they're doing. I can't tell you one thing. It seems that everybody here, pretty intimate community. A lot of folks know one another. Talk to a few people that know families who have loved ones missing. Live here in Darrington, Mark Miller, KOMO 4 News. Hi there.
After what happened with the trailing vehicle,
You know what? I'm not even going to worry about it. Oh, I know.
If you're just tuning in, this is Mark Horner, Beyond90seconds.com in Darrington, Washington. Thank you very much for watching this live stream. Just setting the scene here across the street from the incident command post, all regarding, of course, the Oso mudslide. And just arrived in town about 15-20 minutes ago. The roadblock is just a short distance down 530. This is, right here, this road is State Route 530. And the sun is about to go down just behind that ridge. The scene from Darrington. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. This is Mark Horner, Beyond90seconds.com. If I learn anything or have anything new of interest, I'll be sure to I'll attempt to set up a live signal. And hopefully, wherever I'm at in the area, we can establish one and provide some updates. Thank you for watching. Have a great night, everybody.